Hey everyone, it's ShadowDTV. This is the second part of our beginner's guide. This is going to be all the advanced tips. I wasn't able to fit them in the last video because it was over 30 minutes long. So we're going to go through all the advanced tips here in this video. There's a ton of stuff to get through, but all of this stuff is super important to make sure you get the most out of Marvel's Snap. You know, to make sure you're unlocking cards the fastest, making sure you know all the different little intricacies of the game, so you're not accidentally losing games that you could have won, and vice versa, knowing when you can't win. So some really important stuff to get through. There will be chapters, so you will be able to skip to certain parts if you already know some of these tips. Guys, let's get straight into it. But before we do, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up if it helps you out. All right, let's get into it. A really quick tip to get free credits in Marvel Snap. If you head over to the shop, so once per day at the same time in the shop, you will get 50 free credits here. So make sure you go and collect that each day. It's just some free credits. I mean, why not? Definitely make sure you go and do that. So it'll be available again in 20 hours and 9 minutes. Always get your free credits, guys. So a great tip when upgrading cards. Generally, the rule of thumb is for every 50 credits you spend, you go up one collection level. So for instance, upgrading from this green frame to a 3D rare is going to cost 100 credits and get us 2 collection levels. The only time that this isn't true is for your first upgrade on these common grey cards. So the grey border, when you upgrade these, it only costs you 25 credits and you go up 1 collection level. So you essentially spend half the credits to go up a collection level. So you definitely want to be upgrading all of these, all your common or your grey border cards to get those 1 collection levels. So this is basically the only time you'll get a discount. So definitely make sure you upgrade all of those first to essentially get the most use out of your credits. And then it really doesn't matter what you upgrade after that. For every 100 credits, it's going to give you 2 collection levels. So a quick example of that is even if we go all the way to some of our rarer cards, for 300 credits, we're going to get 6 levels. So it works out to 50 credits for each level. So definitely do all your grey cards first. After that, it doesn't really matter. Just do your favorite cards and you'll keep going up the collection level. It's the undo all actions button. When you're in game, you've played like 4 cards and then you've gone, actually, I don't want to do that. The game doesn't allow you to remove cards, any card you like. You have to remove them in the order you played them. Now, this can be a bit confusing sometimes, and sometimes you just want to redo your whole turn. So before you've ended your turn, if you tap on the energy, it will come up with a screen and you can hit undo all actions and it will just undo everything that you'd played that turn. Of course, you have to do this before you end your turn. Once you've ended your turn, everything is locked in. But it is really important if you're trying to do some maths and you're thinking, oh, I got to pull all these cards back to my hand. You can just do it very quickly by hitting that button. So again, another simple tip, but I think another big one that can speed up your games and give you more time to think. Another big one with that is I like to actually play the cards out so I can look at how the board state is, think about the maths of everything, how many locations I'm going to be winning or losing. And then if it's not, it's not ideal, I can undo all and then try another, board state. So yeah, really important button that I use a lot, and you should be using it too. This one's, I guess, for new players, but there is some longer time players that actually don't know this, and that's how the priority of turns works. So obviously you're just simultaneously playing cards, but a question I get asked a lot is who actually who reveals first. Now, in the first turn, it is random, but you can actually see in the names, as you'll see up here, you'll have your name on the left and your opponent's on the right. So you will see an orange outline around the name, and that is who is going to reveal first. Now, for the first round, it is random, so you want to check that. But in later turns, it will be whoever is currently winning. So if I have 2 locations and my opponent only has 1, I will be revealing first. But the best way to always make sure is just check that check the text, your name, and you'll see that orange highlight. That's the easiest way. You don't have to think about it. You can just look at that. But it is good to know that whoever is winning will be revealing first. You can, plan ahead. Maybe go, you're playing some cards. You're going to make sure that they are still ahead. So they reveal first. So you can drop like a Shang-Chi or, a Killmonger after they've revealed their 1-drops. So yes, it is very good to know how the priority works. And that's how it works. Again, I've had some people that have been playing for a few weeks and didn't know that. So it is, some people might say, yeah, well, obviously, but it isn't explained to you in the game. So it is I consider it a very important tip. How ties work in the game. So generally, you'll be playing, you've been winning, you've been losing, and then all of a sudden you'll see the word draw come up and you go, well, how did we end up in a draw? At first, when I started playing, before it was explained to me even, I just assumed like if I win one location, you win one, and the middle one is even, then it's a draw, because that was my first experience. But then it happened again and I lost and I didn't understand why. And then I had it explained to me by a good friend of mine. Basically, it's very simple. I win a location, the opponent wins a location, and the middle one is a tie. For instance, whoever wins their location by the biggest margin wins the game. So if I'm winning my location 20-10 and my opponent's winning their location 5-0, I'm winning by 10. They're only winning by that 5 margin. So I would end up winning that game. So it is important when you're doing your calculations on turn 6, if you think a location is going to be a draw, how much you're going to win your location by. That can result in a win, a loss, or sometimes a tie. So that's how ties work. Very important tip to know, so you're not confused when you see that word draw come up. Guys, so a very important part of Marvel Snap is the order of revealing cards. So basically, cards are revealed in the order that you play them. So it doesn't matter what location you play them at. You could play cards at 3 different locations and they will reveal in the order that you played them. So for example, Angela here is a 2-cost card. When you play a card here, Angela gets +2 power. Now the important thing is that Angela already needs to be revealed for that to happen. So an example of this is if we were to play Electra and then Angela, Angela is not going to get any benefit from that. Whereas if we were to play Angela first and then we played a card like Yondu, Angela will get that +2 power. So you can play multiple cards in a turn, so it is important to play them in the right order. Don't worry, you're going to make some mistakes early on in the game, but you'll learn from them and you'll start realizing how important the order of revealing cards can be. So we've now played Angela, so now when we play another card here at this location, Angela is going to get that +2 power. So if we were to play Medusa here, and then we were to play, we can play Yondu here as well, Angela's going to get a buff for both of these cards. Now, there's many cards in the game where the order of playing cards is going to matter. This is an example. Angela's a great example. There's also cards like Wolfsbane that matters. And there's lots of different cards that it matters. So Enchantress is another important one. On reveal, you remove the abilities from all ongoing cards at this location. So you would want to play Enchantress first to shut down the ongoing cards, but then if you reveal any ongoing cards after Enchantress, their ability will still be active. So very, very important. I guess the order of playing the cards. It is really key to be doing well at Marvel Snap. To make sure you read the cards and you play them in the correct order. So the season pass contains, each month it contains a exclusive card. Now this is a timed exclusive, which means you will be able to unlock this card for free in the future. But these cards are locked for 2 months. So basically, if this was the January season pass, you could purchase it. You would unlock Miles Morales Spider-Man instantly. You would not be able to unlock Miles Morales for free on the collection level track until March. So it is important to understand that if you want access to the card straight away, you'll need to buy the season pass. Or if you're happy to wait to unlock the card at a later date, you can choose to not buy it and you'll still be able to use that card in the future. So none of these cards are going to be permanently exclusive, so you don't have to worry about missing out on a card. An important thing to note when you're unlocking new cards is that you cannot get a duplicate card. So as you're going through your collection level, you unlock new cards as time goes on. You can also unlock in the collector's reserves a variant of a card. Now, you will never get a variant of a card that you don't already own. So all of these variants will be of cards that you already own. They're not duplicates, but they're not a new card. So you have a chance of getting a new card. And once you've got that card, you also have a chance of getting a variant for it in the collector's reserves and collector's caches. Now, unfortunately, the only way to unlock cards right now is if you purchase the season pass or if you or collecting cards through the collection level. Then you can naturally unlock all of the cards through the collection level. The only thing that is to note is that in the future, Marvel Snap are introducing a currency called collector's tokens. Basically, what these tokens will allow you to do is target specific cards that you want to unlock. So there will be a card available in the store that you haven't already got, and every 8 hours a new card will appear. Once you have enough collector's tokens, you'll be able to purchase that card and unlock it permanently. So this feature will be very welcome once it comes, so you can, build the decks that you want as soon as possible. But right now, you're just going to have to grind your collection level to unlock new cards. When you're looking at your collection in Marvel Snap, if you tick this unowned box here in the filters, you'll be able to see all the cards you haven't unlocked yet. Now, something important to note is that there are 2 cards currently in the game that you cannot unlock, but they do show up in the game because they can appear during your match with special locations that introduce random cards. Things like a card like Nick Fury can add cards to your hand. So you actually can't unlock these cards. I just wanted to make sure you knew that so you weren't wondering why you hadn't unlocked them. Thanos is one of them. You cannot unlock Thanos currently in the game. And the other one, if I can find it here, is Galactus. There he is. So Galactus you also cannot unlock, but they can appear in your game. So if they do, consider yourself lucky and have fun with the cards. Now let's check out the missions. You probably already know how to complete missions and how you get new missions, things like that. But something very, very important in the game is knowing how to complete the missions. It sounds silly and it sounds like a very straightforward thing. But if you retreat before turn 3, any progress towards your missions will actually not be completed. For example, winning a location with 10 or less power, if you were to retreat by turn 3, you would not add to this, even if you end up winning a location with 10 or less power. Basically, to contribute towards your missions, you need to either finish the game, you need to either retreat on turn 4 or later. So after turn 4, if you retreat, it will consider the mission, all your missions will get progress towards them. The other way, if your opponent snaps at any time during the game, so even if it's turn 1, turn 2, and they snap and you retreat, you will still get progress towards your missions. So this is something important just to keep in mind while you're playing. If you're trying to, you're really trying hard to complete a mission. For example, this one here, win a location with 10 or less power, can be quite tricky. So, if I'm at 10 or less power, it's turn 4. I don't think I can win the game. I can hit retreat, and I'm still going to contribute towards this mission. So an important distinction between some abilities and locations in the game would be so there's two types of locked down locations. So there's locations here that say cards can't be played at this location. Basically, you can't play cards there, but if you have other cards or abilities that put cards at that location, that will work completely fine. The distinction you need to make is with abilities like Professor X's ability and locations that say cards can't be added here. Basically what that means is that location is locked down, cards can't be played there, and abilities that would add cards to that location will continue to add cards to locations that they can, but no cards will get added to that location. It's very important to make that distinction. So if it says cards can't be played here, they can still be added there by other means. If it says cards can't be added here, no cards can be put in that location, no matter the ability. So when you're in a game of Marvel Snap, sometimes it's unwinnable, and the best thing to do is hit that retreat button. Now, it's very important when you want to retreat from a game, you can retreat now, which will the game will end immediately. You will lose however many cubes were on the line. But your other option is to retreat later. Basically, what will happen, this will wait for your opponent to end their turn. If they end their turn, you will retreat as normal, lose the cubes that were on the line. But if your opponent also decides to retreat, you guys will have a tie. It will still say that you escaped the battle or escaped the match, but you won't lose any cubes. So retreat later can be, it's probably underutilized. But if you think that your opponent might also retreat, they're not entirely sure if they're going to win, you can definitely hit retreat later and see what happens. Most of the time, they're probably going to end their turn and you're just going to lose. You're going to escape. But sometimes they will also retreat and you'll get lucky and not lose any cubes. So the season has just reset. We've got a brand new season. Your rank has reset. You get all these cool rewards as you rank up. But let's say you start at rank 60. How come you aren't able to unlock everything on the ranked rewards prior to level 60? And it's important they make sure you read this, because I've seen a lot of new players wonder why I haven't unlocked these. You must play 10 games during the season to unlock the ranked rewards. So even if you're at 70, you won't unlock all of these previous rewards until you've played at least 10 games. Now, lucky Marvel Snap games go really fast, so you'll be able to play 10 games, in no time and unlock all those previous rewards. Here on the home screen, we can see that we have a hot location right now. The hot location right now is Sinister London, and this will appear more often for the day. So basically how our featured and hot locations work is that Sinister London is the hot location. Hot locations come out on Sundays. They last for 24 hours. So you will see this location 60% of games. So you will see it very frequently. So it's great to build a deck that, takes advantage of the location, the hot location for the day. We also have featured locations. These come out on Wednesday and Thursday. So you'll get one on the Wednesday and it'll last for 48 hours through till the end of Thursday. This location is usually a brand new location. Marvel Snap like to feature the location so you get to play it more often. That location will feature 40% of games. So not as much as the hot location, but it does last for 2 days. So it's still a great idea to build a deck around that location. Guys, I hope those advanced tips helped you out in some way. Of course, you might know some of them already, but I really hope there was at least one tip that you didn't know or needed more clarification on. If you're a new player, let me know down in the comment section what you think of Marvel Snap, if you're having fun with the game. I hope these advanced tips also helped you out. If you've stumbled across this video and haven't watched our complete beginner's guide, go and watch that as well, because that's going to give you a good base of the game and everything in the game client. And then these advanced tips will take you to that next level. Guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you thought the video helped you out. And if you haven't already, why don't you share it with a friend that you think it could help them with their Marvel Snap journey. Guys, these videos took a long time to make. It was a ton of fun making them, but it was a lot of effort. I really do hope you got something out of them. I'll catch you in the next video.